How do we stay ready for come what may? How do we stay prepared without being incessant? And how do we do all that whilst giving the one thing that the feminine seeks from us and ourselves, which is fucking presence? How do we navigate that as a man? And it's a segue perhaps into brotherhood as well, because listen, if we're not going to take 2 minutes at the end of the day, like you said, to even check in with ourselves, then you're not going to put an hour aside to sit in circle with men. It's chicken or the egg. But at some point, again, we're not reflective, we're fucking reactive. Why, again, to go back to the start of the podcast, why does it need to wait before the world's fucking burning before we give it a drink?
Because we're not deliberate and intentional enough. And I'm speaking for myself. Like, when I am not deliberate and intentional, I'm simply reactive and on autopilot. And I really observe much of the world in the same way. I observe much of the world being not very deliberate, not intentional, not thoughtful in action, and therefore constantly in the future, constantly anticipating, constantly in overloaded dopamine responses, constantly not present, constantly not being able to be grateful. And again, I'm speaking to myself. When I get in those patterns and I'm not deliberate and intentional with how I spend my time, my energy, my expression, how I move through the world and slow down. That's why I very much value ancient samurai practice and the ethos of the ancient samurai. Everything was so methodical and slow and deliberate and intentional. It's really beautiful. There's a magic and there's a majesty in that, man. And I just think we're very disconnected from that. And so I think when we're able to get more deliberate. Again, I'm speaking to myself here. Able to get more deliberate. I'm not preaching to anyone. Just for myself, more intentional. My life feels better. It really does. I feel more. I experience more groundedness, more presence, more gratitude. I'm less bothered by things. I'm more resilient. I'm more adept, more adaptive, more creative. Yeah, I think these are all things that are pretty cool. Yeah. Happier, just generally happier, less bothered by shit.
Men need purpose, right?
I believe so, yeah. That is my belief, yes. Yes. Full stop, yes.
And it's all tied into everything we've spoken to, right? If you don't know your why and having to sit with why the pain of certain things have certainly happened and move through the inner work to kind of alchemize that pain into, wow, I can do something really beautiful with this, then we're not going to be deliberate. If you don't, making this up is a bit cheesy, but I don't think we'll have deliberate intention to realise the deliberate retention what we're holding on to that perhaps we need to let go of, because that's unconsciously where our attention's going. So if we don't go to the past and certain teachers that will remain nameless that we spoke about, I think it's a great part of their work is missing. They avoid going into the shadow. It's so necessary, right? Without it,
I think we're fractured if we don't. Just a part of, and that's not addicted to the shadow. It's just a part of who we are.
Escapism, avoidance, love and light. Yeah.